Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're having a great day and a great week so far. Today I would like us to do an energy check-in. There's a full moon coming up later this week, and whenever there's a full moon coming up, I like to have a little tarot check-in. I typically use a shortened version of the Celtic Cross, and so that's what we'll be doing today. Whether you find this video very recently after it's published and are using it for the full moon that I'm speaking about, that's great. But you can also use this video to do a full moon check-in at any time. So whenever you find this video, that is a great time to check in with the full moon energy. So you'll see 3 cards in front of you here, with each having its own crystal. Take a moment, look at the images on the cards, look at the crystals. If either the card or the crystal is speaking to you, there will be timestamps in the descriptions that will take you to your reading. I recommend that you meditate, ground yourself, take a few deep breaths. If a specific image pops into your mind, or if you feel one of the images or crystals is resonating with you, go ahead and go to that reading. Take whatever is resonating with you and leave the rest behind. And maybe none of the readings here in this video will resonate with you, and that's okay. Hopefully you will stumble upon another one of my videos and find a reading there that will give you the answers that you seek. Today for our deck, we'll be using the Shimmering Veil Tarot. I've been using this deck for about a year. I really enjoy it. The images are very beautiful. The deck also does a great job of giving it straight, telling you the truth, but also not being too harsh. Hopefully you enjoy it today with your reading. Please be sure to give a like, subscribe, and if you think that there's a question that you might want me to answer in a video for you, please leave it in the comments and I will make that video and give you that reading. Thank you so much for watching, and please go down into the description box and check out your reading. Reading number 1, welcome. The card that you selected for your reading is the 10 of Fire. This card tells me that your energy is very weighted down right now. You feel burdened with something, you might be struggling with something. Let's pull a clarifying card and see what exactly you might be struggling with. We have the Page of Fire. You're feeling very passionate about something right now, but for some reason you don't want other people involved, and you might be feeling very defensive about whatever it is that you're working on. Fire element usually tells me that it's something that you're doing or working on at the moment, and we have 2 fire cards here. So hopefully we get some clarity on this in your reading. Let me move this. We'll get to this next. The energy in representing you and your life right now is the 8 of Fire. So you're at the start of some kind of journey. There's a lot of movement. Things might be changing very quickly. Perhaps you're moving towards a goal. Things are very excited. You're optimistic about it. It's like good changes in your life. Nothing to be concerned about in terms of the change. What you're struggling with right now, though, is the 7 of Water. This tells me that you're not sure exactly what path to take. You're moving forward, but you're not exactly sure how to move forward. There might be a lot of options presented to you. You might have a lot of choices to make, and you might be tempted to take the easiest path, but you are struggling with making decisions and where exactly to go with a lot of this energy and momentum that you're feeling. In your conscious thoughts here, or your conscious energy, things that you're actively thinking about or might be on your mind or are very present in your life right now, we have the 10 of Earth reversed. There might be problems with your family, whether that's biological, chosen, the people closest to you in your life. They might have a lot of expectations for you, what they think that you should do or what they think is best. You're struggling with this because you want to do what's best for you, and the expectations might not match what you want to do. In the unconscious here, we have the Devil reversed. So this is unconscious energy. It might be something in the back of your mind, but it's not something that is at the forefront that's very obvious, but it is impacting the situation here. And we have the Devil reversed. So there are old habits that you do want to break free from because they're tying you down and they're holding you back. Let's look at a clarifying card here so we can see exactly what this, bad habit might be. we have the King of Air reversed. So you do find it very hard to commit. And I think you find it hard to commit because you do a lot of thinking. You get caught up in your own mind and get caught up in your thoughts, especially when there are choices presented in front of you. You might think like 50 steps ahead. For example, considering each choice and the consequences that it might have, and then you think yourself into this confusing loop, and you get so caught up in your thoughts that it's difficult to take action. In the past here, we have the Judgment card. Something recently inspired you to examine your life and examine the choices that you've made and gave you the momentum to move forward into the next thing. You maybe evaluated, your life or a situation that you're in, and you didn't like the way that it looked. And so you wanted to change things. You wanted to move on to a new project. You wanted to go after a new goal. And so this Judgment energy is what pushed you forward into this path. In the near future, we have a very positive card, the Three of Water. There is a lot of love and support coming for you in your immediate future. And this could be support from friends and family or family. So perhaps this energy of the Ten of Earth reversed that you're having a hard time with, other people's expectations, this might be resolved because you connect with your family, you have a get-together, perhaps there's a party coming up or a celebration that you might be seeing friends and family at, and this helps resolve this, burdensome energy of other people's expectations. I think this is a great card to get in your immediate future, and I personally am excited for you. Again, if you feel like things resonated in this reading, that's amazing. Take it with you. If you don't, leave it here. And if you feel like this reading was just not resonating at all, feel free to go back to the beginning and pick another pile. Welcome to reading number 2. You picked the Ace of Air, which to me tells me that you've gained some new perspective on something in your life. It could be a particular situation, or it could just be your mindset. Let's pull a clarifying card to see here what we've gained some new perspective on. Okay, we've got the Four of Earth. This tells me that you've gained some new perspective, or perhaps some distance, which has given you perspective on a bad situation. Something might have happened that forced you to really close yourself off, run away. You wanted to guard yourself and protect yourself. It was not a very good situation. So let's see if the reading gives us some clarity on this. Let me move this here. The card that represents you and your energy right now is the Seven of Air reversed. You feel very overwhelmed right now. You're dealing with a lot of stressful things. Maybe we'll see in the challenge card what some of those stressful things are. And you feel very unprepared to deal with it. You feel like you don't have the resources. So let's take a look at the challenge card and see what you're dealing with right now. We have the Five of Fire. There's conflict happening in your life right now, perhaps with family. This is more like group-oriented conflict, and that's kind of where the family notion comes from. It doesn't have to be like your biological family. It could be your in your friends. There's conflict in your friend group, conflict in your chosen family, conflict amongst the people that are closest to you. You might be directly involved in this conflict, or you could just be an observer, and that's how you've gained this new perspective. But I do think you are involved in some way, because in the past we have this Ten of Water reversed. This card tells me that there may have been some situation with betrayal and deceit in the past that led to a lot of resentment. We're guarding ourselves, we're holding back because of those feelings, and this situation was just not properly addressed. So let's pull a clarifying card so we can get some more information on this. Okay, we have the Warrior of Earth reversed. This is a court card, so it could represent the person that started this conflict or who you might be having conflict with right now. This person could be an earth sign. That would be Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. But this tells me that this person that kind of instigated all of this conflict, they might be very rigid in their thinking. They cannot think outside of the box. They might think that they're right about everything and that they know how everything should be done, what to do about everything. And they also might be insensitive, not really taking other people's feelings into consideration and just doing whatever they want. And they might be out of touch with what the rest of the group is thinking or feeling or wanting. Up here we have your conscious thoughts, and we have the King of Air reversed. That tells me you're doing a lot of mental gymnastics in order to deal with this conflict that's happening. You're thinking about it a lot, trying to push it out of your mind, or you're analyzing it. There was just a lot of thinking happening about it, and you feel very lost and confused and angry. And because you're thinking about it so much, you're kind of caught in this spiral of negativity, and you might even be lashing out at people because you feel so angry about what's happening. Let's pull a clarifying card here so we can see what might help you deal with these thoughts. Okay, we have the Four of Fire reversed. So be persistent and have faith. This card here tells us that you feel like you don't have the resources and that you don't know what to do and how to move forward. But this Four of Fire is reassuring you that you do have what you need and you do have the resources. Be persistent and have faith and have trust. Because the Four of Fire, when it's upright, is also about reuniting with people, coming home, a homecoming. So be persistent, and perhaps you will be able to reconnect with the people that you're perhaps in conflict with right now. This is unconscious energy, so not something that is at the forefront and impacting things. It's operating in the background. You do have a tendency to hermit yourself. You pull away from the situation, you're withdrawing. Perhaps you're looking inward. How have I contributed to this situation? What role am I playing? I just want to focus on myself and learn about myself and not worry about this conflict that's happening. And perhaps this is how you've gained this new perspective on the situation, because you have hermited yourself. But this also means that you're withdrawing from the people around you, which could be good or bad depending on exactly what the situation is. In the near future, we have the Warrior of Water. So the court cards tell me that this could represent a change within you that might be coming soon, but this could also represent a person in your life that might impact the situation or might give you guidance on things. This could be a water sign. That would be Pisces, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That took me a long time. Could be a water sign person in your life, sun, moon, rising. This person might seem very detached, but they are loyal to the people around them. So they might have some kind of lesson to give you about loyalty, or perhaps the other people in your life about loyalty. And they are very self-confident, but not in an obnoxious, rigid way, kind of like this Warrior of Earth reversed we have here, but in a very quiet, calm, I know who I am, and I'm very detached because I'm confident and I know who I am. This person might be coming into your life to offer you some guidance on the situation, or perhaps you might be moving into this energy yourself and becoming more like this person. Okay, that's all I have for you. If you feel like certain parts of this reading resonated for you, that's wonderful. Please take it with you. If you don't feel that parts resonated, leave those parts behind. They may not be for you. And if you feel like this reading did not resonate at all, that's okay. Feel free to go back to the beginning and select another one. But if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And if you have a question for me in the future, leave a comment and I will make a video on it. Reading number 3, welcome. The card that you selected is the Page of Air. This card is a court card, which usually describes a person or a personality. Perhaps this card describes you. You might be an air sign. That's Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. You're pretty good at communication. You have a very confident sense of knowing where you're going and why you're doing something. You have very strong beliefs and you tend to follow them. Hopefully this card describes you. If it doesn't, it might describe somebody in your life that this situation is about. Looking here at your reading, there's a lot of big energy that's indicated by a lot of these major arcana cards. And you can see here that we have 2 Fools in 2 different placements. This card is unique to this deck. So we're going to go through it all. Hopefully you learn something new about the situation. This card represents you, your energy, the situation happening right now. You feel pretty calm and balanced right now. There is a new sense of connection with the people around you and your environment. Perhaps you've received aid recently from somebody that has really benefited you and helped bring this sense of harmony, or perhaps you're helping somebody else right now. The challenge for you right now, though, is that something in your life is pushing you to change. You're being called to change, whether it's something about yourself or something about your life situation. But you don't want to answer the call. You're having a hard time answering the call. So let's see. Let's get some more information. Let's pull a clarifying card so we can understand this call to change a little bit more. I'm going to put it down here. We have the Warrior of Air reversed. So you're being called to change some of your negative perceptions and the tendency to engage in escapism, whether that's through work or other behaviors that we do to escape. The one that comes to mind to me right now is work, maybe a workaholic. You're being called to change, but you're having a hard time letting go of these things, and this can lead to, some self-sabotage. This kind of makes sense with what's going on in our conscious energy, perhaps our conscious thoughts. The energy that's at the forefront right now of the situation. We have the Nine of Fire reversed. You do feel kind of angry about being pushed to change, which is interesting considering you also have this Temperance card describing your situation and feeling kind of balanced. Perhaps you feel this call to change might throw you out of balance and throw you out of this harmony, this good time that you're having. And that might be making you angry. You feel like this change is something that's outside of your control, perhaps, and that's what's making you feel angry. Let's see. Let's look a little bit closer at these two Fool cards here so we can get some more clarity. So in your unconscious energy, which could be unconscious thoughts, or perhaps it's just the energy that's in the background, not something super obvious, but it's impacting the situation. You have the Fool reversed. You're very worried. You're worried about making the wrong decision, or perhaps you've made a decision recently that you're kind of concerned was the wrong one, because the Fool kind of indicates a new change in life, and perhaps you may have rushed into something. You didn't think too clearly about it, and now you're a little concerned that you maybe went down the wrong path. But in the past here, we have the Golden Fool. So I think you're having this doubt about the choice that you made, but this Golden Fool is telling me that it was in fact the right choice. The Golden Fool is unique to this deck, and it indicates somebody who has gone through the entire journey. If you know about the structure of a tarot deck, you've gone through the entire journey of the major arcana, and you've taken the lessons that you've learned and you're bringing them into the next journey that you're having. So unlike the regular Fool, who is kind of naive and doesn't know what's going on, the Golden Fool is enlightened. So whatever change or decision that you did make in the past was the right one, and you took the lessons that you've learned and applied them in order to make this decision. So I feel that you can let go of some of this doubt that you're having. Let's get some more information. So some of the lessons that you learned and you applied in your decision, this is the Four of Water reversed. You learned a lot about your self-destructive behavior, and you learned to love yourself and accept yourself a little bit more, because this Four of Water can indicate some self-resentment and some anger. Perhaps these feelings of anger and this force to change type of thing is happening because you feel like you might have already learned and dealt with a lot of these things, especially, because you're being asked to examine them again. But in your immediate future, we have this Ten of Earth. I think it might be a good idea for you to connect with your family, biological, chosen, the people closest to you in your life. Either of those apply. There might be a get-together happening that will allow you to connect with family, but this sometimes doesn't indicate a get-together. It's more so just about examining the connections that you have with your family. There might be some changes coming in the family that you may have to deal with, but this card reminds you that it's good to focus on the present and where you are right now. And perhaps in the future, you might feel the urge to reflect and look back on where you came from and where you're going. And I think you should do that. I like to journal if I'm, feeling like I need to reflect on things, or do a tarot spread. That's a great way to reflect on things. So if you feel the urge to look back and examine your journey, definitely do it. All right, that's all I have for you. Hopefully, some things in this reading resonated for you, and take them with you if it did. If some things did not resonate, leave those behind. They may not be for you. This is a collective reading, so sometimes not all of the information applies. And if you feel like this reading was way off, feel free to go back to the beginning and select another pile. But sometimes the readings just don't resonate, and that's okay. Feel free to leave a comment if you have a question that you would like me to answer in another video. Please subscribe and leave a like. This is a new channel, so that really helps out. Thank you so much for watching. All right, everybody, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you were able to gain some new insight today. If you feel like there's a question that you want me to answer in another video, please leave a comment. Otherwise, like and subscribe. That would really help me out. And I look forward to doing another reading for you in the future.